And I know they go back this year, we're kind of getting for updates. They were going to
But I was so glad. It was 83-year-old girlfriend driving down the road. So we had an hour and a half at 8 o'clock in the morning. Get to the clinic, they'd never been to. Had the procedure done. They had to go to the pharmacy at and I don't know what else to do. There's one about science. I know they have science. And they can drive themselves. They know how to do some medicine. I don't know how. I know, I do too. It's so much easier. Yeah. But my mom and dad was the same way. They did all. Yeah. Johnny's not gonna make it to the meeting tonight, so he's got flights.
Sorry, I was spacing off these things, so I don't for a second.
I've been to Florida before.
I'm tired.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
What he says, really bad, and I'm like,
The witching hour is here, so we'll call the meeting to order. I want to thank everyone that's here tonight, and is there anyone that's here for their first meeting? Or maybe it's been a long time since you've been here? The usual suspects. Thank you, and we'll start with reviewing the minutes from the June 23rd meeting.
I had a change, and I emailed Bill about, my title.
oh, your title?
You got me.
What do we do? Move you up to be president?
I don't know.
No?
No, so I had your argument about that.
Okay. So motion to approve with the change.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. And with that, we'll move to the general manager's report. And Eric will fill us in.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming in again for the monthly meeting here. I have a short general manager's report, really. One aspect is White River Valley Connect. Some may have seen them in here recently. They were recently up on the upper part of Stonebridge Parkway, kind of by the guard shack, down within the Oaks just as well. We did meet with them about a week and a half ago. The next place that they were looking at was around the lodges at Forest Lake or Fox Hollow. They were looking up in that area. They may not be boring up there. They may try to run the fiber line within their electrical line, possibly, if they can do it. Just with the density, and it could be a quicker process where they can move in there, get out to other areas. So you will see them more up in the northern part, I should say, in the upcoming weeks. Let's see. Other updates is we did get our ATM up and operational. It is out in the grill. Individuals have been using it. What's that? Yeah, just it's kind of out by the hostess stand a little bit. So it has been being used. Got brought online this month, and we'll see how that goes. It hasn't been much of a trouble, much of a hassle. Haven't had to refill it yet, but we can adjust things. So we'll just see how it goes going forward. A couple other updates is we did have the roofing of the security guard shacks and the bridge to go with that stone coated steel. Currently, that project was to set underway in August, but it's going to have to be put on hold for a minute. The engineer, the structural engineer, actually came out. He did do his analysis, and we're just building upon his report and recommendation for the structural supports there within the guard shack, or not within the guard shack, the bridge. It does look like the horizontal beams we are going to have to replace, and so just need to see exactly how that process is going to go with either A, propping up the roof while they replace the beams before we can set it back down and then proceed on with the roofing project. But other than that, things have just been busy. It seems like there's a lot of families, a lot of travelers, no matter if you're in the village or outside the village, there's just people everywhere. Probably getting that last vacation in before kids have to go back to school here in August. So a little changing of the season, but that's a few things we have.
They still have an issue with the gate, at the member gate.
At the west gate, yeah, we're currently waiting on a chip. The chip is actually what allows us to send data from Door King, the software, to upload. We've never really replaced the chip. Anytime we replaced a board, we've actually just put the chip back in that new board. It was recommended by Door King because we were having some issues with that chip not seating correctly, or being intermittent, where it would open for cars and then all of a sudden it wouldn't because the chip tripped. And so actually the chip was supposed to be in today. I have to check and see if it actually came in. Once it does come in, we'll get it replaced in the morning, send all the data back, and should be good to go there. Yeah.
Okay.
Been a little time with the gates at the end of May into June, and then now the owner's gate as well, so.
While you're up there,
Yeah.
can you just bounce into this finance report also?
Yeah. Okay, so everybody's got their June financials, and we'll kind of start. Left-hand side, middle column, we'll go down to the bottom line. We did post a positive net income of $131,272. That was $26,589 below our budgeted figure for the month, but nonetheless, it was a good month, and we can kind of get the detail and see exactly where that's found. Staying in that same left-hand column, middle, we go up to the top, you can see the common area revenue, the green block, came in at a total of $298,603, slightly below our budgeted figure of the $299,796. Assessment revenue, $236,95. We do have 1,103 dues paying properties now. Activities and facilities fees was on target, $10,435. Open center lease revenue was on par, and then nightly rental fee revenue on par with last year just as well. The only place where we really had a shortfall was in that other revenue line at $2,431 compared to the budget figure of the $4,997, and that was really just due to we had budgeted a new bill for ACC permits and road impact fees that did not take place. Speaking of new builds currently, I did check on this before coming down. We do have 14 builds currently underway, so it seems to slow down at least momentarily. We'll see if it ramps back up. You get down into the red block here, you can see expenses. Total common area expenses came in at $264,897. That was about $4,300 below our budgeted figure. Really, recreation, common area maintenance, administrative expense was all under. Security was slightly elevated by a little bit less than $3,000. And the reason for that was, of course, gates, which we just recently talked about. We had that lightning strike at the end of May and ended the beginning of June, and so we did have to replace 5 different components of that east gate to get it back operational. That's where it's reflected at here in that security expense. And then we moved down to golf. Golf course revenue was about $31,000 down for the month, at least from budget, as we cleared $282,705 compared to the budget figure of $313,915. Golf course net, really expenses in pro shop and golf course maintenance were on par with budget. And then golf course net came in $31,000 below budget at $88,698. And it wasn't really weather that was a factor here. We kind of looked at the rounds report. Paper play rounds were down, annual fee rounds were up, but we had some Fridays, I should say, on the tee sheets within the month of June. We had relatively mild weather, kind of mid-80s and various things like that. And whenever we do have availability on the Friday and Saturday, and you're not booked up, which we usually do that tee time restriction, we do. There's just not a lot of need for more annual play to take place. So nonetheless, it was still a good month. Let's see here. Then you get down to food and beverage. Food and beverage had revenue of $152,241, on par with last year, on par with budget. Cost of sales came in at 28.4%, and total food and beverage expense $78,414. So food and beverage net was $4,400 higher than what we budgeted at a positive $23,169. So a good month for food and beverage. Kind of go to the right-hand side, middle column, you can see where we're at here to date as far as net income on the bottom line. Currently, we posted a $119,423 loss, but we are $6,800 better than budget year to date. So those things are going as planned. Let me get back on the balance sheet. Just going to highlight one thing here. Left-hand side top, we did finish with a total cash position of $1,265,410, and that's $242,000 better than the same month last year. So, cash position there sitting well. We do have some upcoming projects, bridge, roofs, so it will take a hit moving forward. So, Overall, good month.
Thank you. The HTC report? Johnny?
John.
Yeah. well, The committee met on July the 10th, and we approved 3 landscaping requests, 1 fence request, 1 new deck rebuild, and an agreement has been reached between 2 owners on Black Forest with the property line infringement, and the removal of a dead tree, which the dead tree has been removed. Jack Houseman is doing the replat. He's resurveyed it, and each owner will receive an equal amount of property, but the pins will be moved and be replanted. I don't know when that will happen. I know they're busy, but things are underway. The committee came up with a resolution that should stop all this property line infringement at the last meeting. 3 surveys will be required for each new build in order that this does not happen again. I've been involved with 4 of them over the years, and it's got to stop. It divides neighbors. It throws the community into turmoil, and the infringement on someone else's property will stop. Any questions?
Good job. Good job.
Did you have anything? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Golf committee?
I'll give a couple blips, updates. Eric already talked about the financials, so we're good for that part. Most of this is really more about maintenance, of course, for those of you who are familiar with the course. Of course, we had some more winter kill this year on the fairways. Colby's trying to get sod, but sod is out for the year everywhere. He's reached from Illinois to Arkansas to Oklahoma to wherever. And there's a lot of golf courses in that area that are having fairways and stuff redone, so they've sucked up all the sod this year. The tees were verified, they're coming back as best as possible without, the limited rain we have, irrigation repairs. They have quite a bit of that going on. Let's see what else. The erosion around pond 12, they've restored that a little bit more to its original shape, so we gained a little bit of fairway down there at the bottom, and then that area will be addressed for sod layer as well. Insects, for those of you who are golfers, don't worry about the cicada killers and the wax sandies. They're harmless. They are annoyance, but he is trying to eliminate and put insecticide out for those as well. Let's see, what else? Massacre tournament will be October 22nd. Member guest is coming up the 20th through the 24th, I think, of August timeframe. New business, we had recommended new tires be placed on the beverage carts, and that's being done. I think probably by now both cars have had new tires, and that's a huge safety factor on our golf course. The golf committee talked a lot about the maintenance, the driving range out here. And going back to the mats, we recommended that we will go back to the mats full-time, indefinitely, because we've had too many people out here hitting, and they think they're, great grand hitters, but it's a safety issue with a maintenance shed. Because the guys are back there working, people are hitting their drivers, and they're hitting intentionally into the maintenance shed. And they can't even do maintenance out here with a grader between them and a employee without people trying to target them. So we're gonna put a stop to that. So it's, it's not favorable for some people that want to hit off road grass, but we're looking at the safety of our employees before anything else. Cart violations, anybody who wants to talk about that and, bring a grievance to the committee, we're welcome to hear you. Golf cart violations, we revisited some of the carts that we've noticed that are on the golf course do not have their 2025 stickers on. And that is being addressed as well. Part of that has to do with those of you who have carts. It's that we have to have a $300,000 insurance policy if your cart is going to be on the golf course. Again, it's a safety issue because we don't want the course to be sued for anything because of, somebody's potential ignorance. Been there, done that, broke cart once. Topic of the memorials, we as a committee are discussing that, and I don't know if that's going to be something brought to the board, but we are recommending no further memorials on the golf course. There will be no trees planted intentionally on the golf course, and we are evaluating places off the golf course to do that memorial, and maybe we can work with the board on the Purple Heart, where they're going to locate the Purple Heart. And that's pretty much all I can remember.
Janet, I'm sure you guys probably thought about it. In a lot of the communities where there's a driving range, they have a big net.
Yeah.
Has there been?
Yeah, well, I think we've talked about that because also we have people, those that shank it or hook it, whichever, over into tree line. We lose a lot of golf balls every year, and golf balls are getting very expensive. So there has been some mention about that, but I think the nets are still pretty expensive. But it's something that I think we can still probably consider, and they can get some pricing and just get it into the budget for maybe next year, get some partial nets for that.
Thank you.
There being no old business, we'll move into the new business. Becky Sellers.
Hi, I am Becky Sellers. I am a Stonebridge resident, and I'm here tonight on behalf of the Reed Spring Wolfpack Foundation. We're a 501c3 that raises money for the school in the form of scholarships for current students taking dual credit college classes, for graduating students going on to pursue further education, and also classroom grants. One of the ways we raise that money is a golf tournament. We had our first one at Ledgestone last year. It was a huge success, and we have another one scheduled for this October. I would like to be approved to take advantage of the fee-free use of facilities of the building or a room for my nonprofit.
Can you explain that?
There's,
Explain the,
What will you be doing?
so what we used last year, we used the patio for lunches for folks who didn't get them when they were delivered, and then we had an award ceremony at the end of the tournament.
Oh, it's
And what was that?
Connected to the tournament, yes, sir.
Was that also at the patio? Or
We did all that at the patio, and the girls made me they gave me the locals discount for use of the patio for the day, but everything I'm paying is cutting into scholarships and classroom grants, and I would love to cut down the prices. I know the golf tournament is already costing me more this year, because everything's more expensive. So I would love to take that expense off of mine for the year.
So your request is for the patio only, or is it for any additional rooms?
So what Philip has said is, the patio is great for us. If something happens, if the weather changes during the day, if a rainstorm comes up at the end of the tournament, Philip has said that we are allowed to use a room. I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I don't want to take advantage of something I'm not supposed to. So I would like permission to use that without cost if weather comes up.
Are you talking about this room? This room or which room? Do you know?
I don't know. The girls haven't gotten back to me about what options might be for that day.
What date is this?
Monday, October the 20th.
October 20th.
the emails that went back and forth. The emails that went back and forth between you and Bill,
Yes.
he indicated what has to be done in order to approve that room for, no use or for no fee. Have you submitted any of that?
I did not get any information from him on what I needed to bring. I have copies of our 501c3 if you need it. I'm happy to provide that.
According to what we've got, the request needs to be submitted at least 3 months, and this is for all nonprofits that request to use the facility. The request must be submitted at least 3 months before the event. Approval may be for a one-time or an annual event. The board retains discretion on approval, deny, or revoke approvals based on the perceived benefit to the community and room availability. And if approved, organizations will coordinate event time and space with POA management. And I think Bill's not here today because he's out of the area, but the other person that would need to get involved in this would be Cassie Grimes, because she keeps track of all the approves and availability and such like that. I don't foresee any problem because we do like to be a great supporter of the Reed Springs Wolfpack, so.
You all have
You
taken
guys
very
have-
good care of us.
You guys have a lot of good programs for our youth, and so I think it's just a matter of you go ahead and maybe contact Cassie tomorrow or sometime soon. What are you thinking,
How
Eric?
many people are in the golf tournament, just trying to determine?
We'll have 120 golfers or less, and then 30 volunteers or less.
We got about 100.
Yeah, and that's the max. So far, I've not hit my max for any of my tournaments yet, but this could be the year.
So the patio's okay for you as long as we have no rain?
Yes, yes.
But anyway, I don't foresee that we would have an issue. It's just a matter of getting the details of what room you may need if the patio is not accommodating because of weather conditions or whatever. A lot of times people move into the space.
Right.
That's very easy to set up in the house.
Great.
We'd like to.
I'll make a motion that we do a one-time, this year, approval of, space for the Reed Springs
Wolfpack Foundation.
Wolfpack Foundation, to be, coordinated with the POA management.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Well, they really only need the room, it's the patio's not.
That's fine. I think it's just making sure that this room would be available if they need it.
Is the patio also part of the free to nonprofits?
Anything further? All in favor?
I,
Opposed? You're good for the year.
thank you.
We do have something in writing though that was sent to Bill, right? You did send something?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
okay, just want to make sure.
thank you.
Thank you.
The next item concerns a security light for the corner of Forest Lake and Black Forest Lane. Robert DeRocher brought this up, and I see Robert here.
He's here.
Oh,
He's leaning down.
Would you like to come up and tell us what you're asking for and why?
Robert, you realize you're the reason that they're having to move back to the mats on the driving range.
I'm Andrew Oak, by the way, I just needed that. No, I just asked for a security light, another street lamp light to be placed at Black Forest and Forest Lake, only because it has street signs on these intersections. And a lot of friends that we have that come over late at night, they say they really can't see the street light, or they can't see the streets, even though they're using
So the
change.
street light was that would be, I would need the light. If the street light itself is, I think there's a way we can do that.
Well, I think it would help. I mean, just like most of the other intersections that are throughout the neighborhood, especially in the first phase, there's street lights at every intersection, at least the four ways. And they're kind of sporadic in the second phase, back in Forest Lake, they're kind of sporadic. There's a few here and there's a few there, and some of them don't even make sense. But Forest Lake and Black Forest, being on the main drag, doesn't have any at all at that four-way intersection.
If there was a light that lit up the sign, the street sign that said Black Forest, would that suffice, or do we need a street light?
Well, I personally, I think as a resident, I think it would look pretty nice if we continued with the street lamps. You know, especially with the second phase growing like it is, more and more homes are being built, more and more people are transporting back and forth between the second phase, first phase. But I think it would just kind of bring the second phase in with the first phase, look like that it was actually completed with the infrastructure that probably should have been, so it's probably as it was originally planned.
Well, Bill, I need to get more information from Bill, I guess. He thought that box on the corner there, that they could just tie a street light into that.
Yeah.
And he said that they can't, it has to go, that's on the northwest corner.
Yes.
And he's saying, in his report here, he's saying it has to be on the southwest corner. Well, there's nothing going west on the southwest corner, so it must be going south by Dillard's house, where they have to tie into a utility box. He's at 150 feet south, that would be down toward Dillard's house, I guess. So I guess I just need to get more information, I guess, as to what the cost of this is gonna be.
Yeah, because the last time I spoke to Bill, Bill told me that he was probably gonna be able to tie it, he should be able to tie into that box on the northwest corner.
That's what.
And the trench wouldn't be but 6 feet.
He's saying that can't do it.
So that was the last time that I heard from Bill.
And I don't know the difference in boxes. The one on the northeast corner is a transformer, but the controller box is south on Forest Lake. So we'd have to trench down to the controller box to put the light in. So it's basically, according to what Bill's thinking, it's gonna be probably a $2,000, $2,500 expense for us to put it up there. Versus typically the other lights are only like $1,200 because it's right where it would be okay.
It would be nice if one were there, it would just look like it was, because that's a dark, as Larry, as you know, you drive that sometimes at night when you're out late, when you get out late.
I can't
Being your age, you're not able to go
Can't
out.
remember where my corner is.
But that's a dark corner because it's down the hillside, in the hillside is forest, or Black Forest kind of goes up, so it just makes that intersection a dark intersection.
And I think if I remember correctly, that about Mountain View just past that, they have one
They
in that
do.
corner.
Yeah, they do.
And then Black Forest is void of that. So the next light down is probably all the way down.
All the way down to.
Fox Hollow.
Yes,
So there's nothing from Fox Hollow
no.
to.
And it's odd, the way they put them in originally, it's kind of odd, because they even have one at Limes, or at Beechwood and Black Forest, which is just a three-way. It's not even a three-way, it's just kind of an odd place that they would put one there, but not on the main drag of Forest Lake.
Okay.
But anyway, it's just something I brought up, if it can be done, that'd be great, because I think it would look like it would finish out the neighborhood in the second phase a little more than it really looks like it is now.
And I think especially on the main, on Forest Lake.
Yes,
Because
being the main drag.
I'm also thinking that there's another one up on Weatherstone, if I remember correctly. If you can continue up Forest Lake to Weatherstone, I think there's one there for those people.
It's a very.
Are there houses real close to that corner?
No, there's
It's
one
only
lot,
Larry's, and we made sure that it's right next to his bedroom.
there's one lot between the corner and Dillard's house. And so I presume it must be the box down at Dillard's house is where he has to tie into.
But anyway,
Anyway,
Bill's going to continue to research that, and so we'll have an answer back next week for a report.
thank you.
Thank you. The final item on the new business is the report that was received from the food and beverage consultant. John Kerr has completed a final report. He is phasing out his involvement here, still available as needed for, additional, issues. But the report will be made available, to residents, next month. It will be on the website. There will also be copies available in the office that can be inspected. It's my understanding that they will not circulate. The copies that are available to the, village residents will contain some redactions. In the interest of legal and personnel issues, there were some items that had to be redacted. However, the bulk of the report, which is 23 pages, it's only within the last 2 or 3 pages there's any redactions at all. So for everyone that's been waiting to see what, has come out of all this, you only have a few more days. And with that, we'll move to the open forum. If you have a question, complaint, comment, come on up to the microphone, state your name and address, and let us know what's on your mind.
Before we do that, just as a note, the golf committee is looking for an answer on the golf cart approval process. So there is a moratorium on all new golf cart approval requests in case anybody's getting a new golf cart or thinking of it. So there is a moratorium on all new golf cart approval requests until an appropriate policy is enacted. Just because we've had some new carts that have been approved that don't meet the requirements that are out there today. So we need a process in place that to make sure that any golf carts being purchased and being approved will have the policy in place before that happens. So that should be happening within the next week or so. I know there are golf committees already put a tentative one together.
Thank you. Now, with that, we will move on to the open forum. Floor is yours. Going once, going twice. It's gone.
Oh, the next meeting.
The next meeting will be on Monday, the 25th of August. Same place, same time, 5:30.
Make a motion that we adjourn for the month.
And a second.
There's a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor? Motion carries. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Well, hopefully you're gonna be early.
Okay, bye.